not able to do in the last Legendary Cup against VT.
No doubt about it. And you go into Legendary Cup number 4 and you end up winning the first one, and then you lose the 2 after winning the winner's bracket. What is to be told in Legendary Cup number 4? So crazy storylines, like you said, Dave, coming out of this one. As we take a look at the game types, the first one that we're going to be seeing is going to be Empire Stronghold. So getting the players readied up, and we are going to be starting this one here fairly shortly. Eden Slayer game number 2, Coliseum CTF game number 3, Plaza Strongholds, Rick Slayer, Fathom CTF, and then Coliseum Slayer. So we are going to see another Fathom CTF. I believe we did see...
We also saw the Coliseum Slayer.
We did see Coliseum Slayer, so those are the only 2 repeat games coming in here from this series, so it's going to be a very exciting turn of events. I believe out of all of these, we are missing one game type that we haven't seen from the 2 series played out, and that was a Plaza Slayer overall. So great job by Millennial and 343 putting together these game types, so we do get, again, a brand new kind of refreshing series over here coming in. So Empire Strongholds is going to be the way to start this one off, and Empire Strongholds was what game number 4 was in that series against VT for Era, which was the must-win game that kind of sparked them going into game number 5.
Yeah, I don't know if they could have beaten VT on any other ones. At least that was my mindset at the time, but having seen Era beat STR8 Rippin in, what, 3 different objectives here so far in this series, or actually it's been 2 different objectives so far in this series. It's kind of answered my question about them being an objective team or not, and they've shown that they may have an unorthodox style. They may have decisions I disagree with, but clearly it works for them.
No doubt about it, and it's all going to be up to that beginning strategy, controlling that pit, overshield, and camo. Going to be popping up, obviously, outside, and then over in towards that security area. You looked at how they were playing previously. We saw Neptune going big. We're going to need to see more Musa, in my opinion, coming in from this series. He was kind of, and he's also been very underrated coming out from the amateur side for quite some time. But that's the big key that I'm looking out for on the side of the blue squad. Meanwhile, from the red team, I'm kind of looking at Ace. Not like Ace didn't get it going in the previous series, but Ace definitely someone that can get it going, and once he gets it going, has a very unorthodox play style that he's laying down tons of damage, staying alive, and kind of being a nuisance inside of your base. So to me, I'm kind of looking for him as, when I look at the other players on this squad and what kind of play style would annoy them, I feel like Ace would be my go-to guy on STR8 Rippin.
Yeah, one thing I also want to point out with Musa, as you brought up before, is he's got to step it up, is he got that huge kill at the end on Ace during that Regret Slayer, where it's just like he was one
of,
shot.
if not the biggest kill of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game changer right there. It gave them that extra little breathing room. One kill closer, also taking one away from STR8, so huge kills by them. But let's jump on with one of those players to watch that you brought up, Ace.
Ace looks like he's going to make his way on over towards the pit to start things off, and then he's going to rotate on over towards the turbine to try to lay some damage over to the overshield side of the map. Needs to get that cleanup onto Neptune, I believe, who kind of made his way over towards the overshield. No, Kratos made his way over towards the overshield. Denoxide is going to help burn that one, so STR8 Rippin at least able to make their way on over towards the pit after that as well when they secure the numbers, and this is kind of the start that they needed, right, Dave? They get pit, they get the side base, now they're going to contest on over towards red and potentially get a triple cap.
And you called it right after that too, just saying how much of a sneaky player Ace is, or how much he can throw off other teams. Like, no player on the other squad expected Ace to come up through that sneaky ledge or to come up and flank through over at blue base and get those shots over on overshield side. So those are 2 big game changers right there. 1, getting that kill, 2, helping stop the overshield, and then 3, I would even argue, is getting blue base.
Big problem right now for STR8 Rippin is they're so focused on the side bases that they need to worry about the pit. Ace comes out and gets a double kill off of the spawn. They should be able to contest this down towards the bottom center, but they did cough up both of the side bases there, which isn't ideal. But Ace, we were calling him for the big playmaking abilities to go and do something big here in Empire Strongholds, and he's not disappointed so far. Like you said, Dave, a very weird play to go and not try to clean up Neptune right there and then rotate on over towards the side base, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to control pit for much longer because multiple members of Era are going to hop in there. Denoxide way too delayed there to fly in there. Needed to go for the ground pound and then try to buy some more time, or at least take that player down to no shields so one of his teammates could go in there and fly in for the reset. Instead, it's going to be Era getting control of the pit and now trying to do some work on over towards the security side is Neptune. He's going to get the trade onto Baby J. Overshield popping up here in the next 25 seconds. Going to be a very big point of contention here for both of the squads. Era currently holding outside, but most likely not going to hold this through that the entire time. Looks like they want to get aggressive over towards the blue side and push onto this triple cap. I'm actually a fan of this play because if they're able to secure this, it's going to put really tons of amount of pressure on Straight Rippin to do something.
Yeah, that was a great job going for that trip cap. They almost temporarily got it for just a moment, but eventually it looks like Straight was actually somehow able to hold on to that two side bases for just a brief second. But either way, I'm a big proponent of going for trip caps when you can get them. It just felt like before we watched Era here, we felt like they went for a few too many on that earlier rig strongholds.
Triple cap in effect. It's not going to last for long, though, because Straight Rippin is going to be capturing the blue side, but this is not the situation that you wanted to be in after a phenomenal start. Now, Musa with the overshield. Side base under control. That is going to be red. Pit under the control. Now Musa making his way with that overshield. Baby J was able to find a kill, but it gets answered out from Straight Sick. This player appearing on the radar has no idea that Musa is currently waiting around the corner. Does deplete his overshield, but still no aggression coming in over towards the pit. No aggression outside, and on the verge of being triple capped again as Musa. I love this rotation coming back here, choking the spawns, forcing Straight Rippin outside, and now they are going to be capturing blue base as well. Era looking extremely solid here towards this mid game.
Yeah, I just still don't understand how they look like a different team. They're night and day from certain games and certain matches. Maybe it could just been Betterville getting the better of them and just throwing them off a little bit, but they have looked like such a clean squad here on this one.
They're rising to the occasion, and look at that, perfectly executed on waiting and baiting Straight Rippin on over towards that pit area. Denoxide, he's going to drop 3 dead. Staggered spawns coming in for Straight Rippin. This is not what they were looking for after going up 16-0 to start this one. We did see some miraculous comebacks in Empire Strongholds in the past from the same exact squad in Legendary Cup #1. Even bigger deficits than this, but this is against an Era squad now who already reset the bracket, who has tons of momentum coming into this one and is playing like a completely different squad. All 4 dead again here for Straight Rippin.
And look at this pressure again from Era. Every single time they run into a member of Straight Rippin, it just looks like there ain't no shields, running, panicking, having no idea where these members of Era are coming from. So just this constant pressure once they get the advantage, like right there, even Denoxide, seemingly giving up an easy death, which did not seem to need to be challenged.
Now Musa slow playing this on over towards the camo. Can he win this 1v1 against Baby J? Big 1v1 for both of these players. Baby J, can he do it? He does. Dropping Musa, taking down that camo player, but now they have to deal with an overshield player. They have to re-deal with Straight Sick now over towards the turbine area. Another player crouching on over towards the pit. Ooh, baby ground pound coming in for Baby J, but that's not enough to push him out. It is enough to push him out. Wow, Denoxide takes the pit off of that, but definitely going to be retaken as way too many players for Era located down towards the pit. This is looking so good for them. They only need to control this for 20 more points, and they are going to take game #1.
Yeah, and it looked like Straight was starting to get it back a little bit. Felt like Baby J kind of sparked that up by getting that huge kill on the camo player and staying alive, but it seems to be not nearly enough. It's just such a commanding lead for Era. 62 points. Trying to make that up, you have to have some massive swing, and I'm not seeing out of Straight right now.
Yeah, Straight not doing enough job of having enough bodies in the pit, and then they didn't control it nearly enough towards that tail end when Denoxide again was just hovering above it. Now Baby J, desperation push going in there with 2 dead. Again, Era in the right place at the right time. Every time that it's only 1 or 2 alive, they are constantly contesting that pit, and then another reset flying in. That's going to virtually be all she wrote. One more push here for Straight Rippin. This is the final attempt. They get it at the very last second. 94-21 over here. Still some signs of life here for the squad, but they have to play perfect Halo here, Dave, and not allow even 1 retake of the pit. And if Eric gets it, this is going to be game #1 in their favor.
Yeah, and it looks like they're getting a few kills, though. So they're stringing together a couple right now as they take out Neptune and Straight Sick. Looks like they got a nice flank also clean up Kratos and Musa. Has them on staggered spawns. So right now they're kind of spawning in groups of 2. Straight Rippin doing a great job going for the counter cap, but I feel like they need 2 people in here right now. Right now they're giving a few precious points on over to Era, which should not be acceptable.
Yeah, you got to do that, but you also got to make sure that you're controlling the map so you can get these power-ups. That's the big key of contention right now is Musa. He finds it again. Nice grenade right there onto Commonly. Commonly couldn't do anything in that situation. He even finds the double kill onto Ace as well. Big kills coming out from Musa. Can he secure the side base? You can see they're going for it right now. They're not going for the pit with the camouflage. Now someone's going to hop in there. Denoxide, what are you doing? You got to contest the pit with the overshield. That doesn't really matter over towards the side. It's not going to happen for Straight Rippin. A little bit too late as Musa is going absolutely huge at the end of the game. Grenade kill onto Commonly. A big double kill after that, and then the ninja onto the overshield guy. That's got to be heartbreaking for Denoxide. Straight Rippin, no doubt about it. They're going to be a little bit mad after that game, especially the way that that one ended.
Yeah, that was just, they got slapped around towards the end there. It's just really tough to see because as soon as they start to get some ground, you have a player like Musa just going huge. You talked about Musa being one of those players you want to watch and see if he's going to step it up this series, and he has absolutely been stepping it up in these last few games I've watched.
No doubt about it. And then you look at the Slays, and it was only a 4-kill differential in the Slays, actually a 3-kill differential in the Slays, but yet 100-40. It doesn't really add up when you look at this. They outslayed them in the rig, and they lose 100-51, and then they end up virtually being within, what, 2 or 3 kills in Empire Strongholds, and they lose 100-40. Just not enough control when they need it. Not enough sacrificing of the lives. You saw Denoxide playing a little bit too, I think, selfish, in my opinion, is the word to call it. Yeah, the overshield play, it's a little bit questionable because you don't want to get the triple cap, and it could have eventually went on over to Era just based off time right there. But in my mind, you know, not contesting the pit and hovering above that when there's 2 players down below, allowing that one to re-go in Era's favor was by far the biggest mistake we saw out of any player the entire game.
Yeah, you need to play so much smarter during those situations where you and your team could push together and use that as an advantage. Sometimes playing too passive, like you said, you give up any sort of numbers advantage your team has. Like, there's really no big difference between having a 4-on-3 situation if one of your people are hiding. Anytime you have those numbers advantage, you just need to fly as a team. Use those numbers because you can fly around the corner with 2 or 3 players, and there's not much they can do.
They got to get it going right now on the side of Straight Rip, and they have lost 5 games in a row, Dave. We know that they're susceptible to this. We saw it in the previous Legendary Cup where VT strung together 8 straight games. It was just ridiculous to see. It's really like, you know, night and day here, honestly. It's 2 different teams that we're seeing. It's Era coming out of nowhere and swinging for the fences. Meanwhile, Straight Rippin, they got to get it going here. We saw them in very dominating fashion win 3-1 against VT. VT, they pushed this team that we're watching right now, Era, to the brink and lost that series 3-2. So maybe it's a matchup thing, maybe it's a coming out flat thing, or maybe it's just not in the cards here in Legendary Cup number 3 for Straight Up, and they got to come out here and do what Era did to them in the previous series and start stringing together some wins.
Absolutely, and Straight Ribbon needs to show that they can somehow flip this around. Sure, they had a great, strong start on Fathom CTF, game number 1. They didn't start off flat throughout the grand finals, whereas the rest of this has been a complete different story. I have not seen many times where Straight Rippin's been, you know, in the driver's seat, win the match, and then just Era somehow flipping around. It's just sort of been like Era's been kind of controlling this the rest of the match.
And one of the things is you have to remember about these Legendary Cups and just about Halo in general is they're like Tour de Walshes, man. They're a marathon, really. It's not about the sprint, it's about the long game here. So we'll see who the best team is here when all of the games have been played. Excuse me, Straight Sick finding a double kill. Ace finds the overshield. Not sure what happened with the sniper rifle. I currently don't see any players with that in their hands, but it's going to be Kratos, the receptor of that weapon. Let's find out what he's going to be able to do with it.
But he's not in too safe a position. 2 members of Straight put on the pressure, something he's not as used to. It seems like Era have been the one that have been, you know, controlling the aggression, been pushing nonstop on Straight, but it looks like Straight finally collapsing, not just waiting for Era to make some sort of mistake. So great shot by Baby J, just finding Neptune, hiding a little too much on that ledge, and gonna see what he does with the sniper the rest of the way, because I'm not sure what his play is. If he decides to go outside and step way early, does he expect Era just to try to push out and be aggressive like they've been the rest of the series?
Not sure, but they do have a very strong setup right now, and it's weird to say that from red base. You know, Dave, typically you want to set up from the blue base, but I love the way that these guys are all positioned right now, and the good thing for them is they don't have to really make a play onto any type of power up anytime soon. Still 30 seconds, 40 seconds till that next overshield. So should be able to just pick off kills. And if you're Era, what you want to do is locate where the sniper guy is and don't give this guy any free deaths right now. But Baby J, he's not missing. He's already hit one body shot, taken like straight sick down to no shields. He's going to call that on out to Denoxide, who's going to clean it up with a grenade. And what's great to see is just how confident he is sitting up there on that nest perch.
Yeah, in most cases, some players only just kind of barely peek out the window, but you notice how he has faith in his teammates and the control that they have on the map at the moment, that he's comfortable jumping out that far in the open, just realizing that they're giving him so much respect with this weapon.
Another headshot coming in from Baby J, doing work so far. That's what Straight Rippin needs, is a strong individual performance to get the team going. 3 dead right there from Era. You could see Musa, he's also coming off of the respawn here any second. Everybody popping up on that security side, and Baby J just waiting in the shadows for these guys to push on over, either towards red or blue. It looks like a red push coming in over towards bottom SMG area. The no-scope to the face, flying in, 3-shot beatdown. Does it connect? It does. Double kill onto Straight Sick. 23-7 here for Straight Rippin. Looks like they're getting it going here, Dave. The urgency's starting to kick in.
Yeah, one of the first times we've seen them kind of turn it around after being down in the series. Throughout that whole sniping spree we saw from Baby J, Ace was actually able to acquire that camo, or sorry, that overshield around like the 9:45 mark. So I'm sure we'll see Straight Rippin and Era both set up for that power up as it rounds the 7:45 mark. But right now, all these teams and all these players can be focused over at blue base, not because they want to be hiding in there, but mainly because they want that sniper rifle that just popped up.
Good prediction grenade there from Neptune onto Baby J, finally shutting down that spree. Excuse me, his little Neptune finds the sniper rifle as well. So we'll see what he has for us as he goes for the no-scope onto Baby J, not able to land it. Baby J ripping his shields off fairly quickly. The prediction nade not able to land. He knows he's there. Baby J not able to connect. Can he hit this no-scope onto Commonly? Commonly doesn't have any grenades. It doesn't look like he's just continuing to pre-fire around the corner. There goes the grenade. The shields are going to be taken down. Oh no, I believe that was a teammate.
It looked like it.
Oh, so unfortunate. Ace, he's going to get credit for that kill. 15 kill lead here for Straight Rippin, and that's the first time we've started to see some sort of unfortunate turn of events going in Era, in favor of Straight Rippin onto Era.
Yeah, looks like Era may be having a bit more panic. I'd love to hear their comms at some point if that was possible, because I'm sure we'd hear a complete different style of call out compared to the games where they're just destroying, where they're just calling where one-shots are. Instead, you could hear, I'm sure, panic, yelling out for help, begging for any sort of assistance that they can get. It's always interesting when we get to hear those sort of things like we will at DreamHack Denver, when you go to some of those listen-ins and you hear the differences in the comms for different squads.
Commonly just narrowly missing that body shot right there as Xenoxide gets a kill onto Kratos towards the outside. Commonly's going to have to connect onto these shots right here. Does get a body shot right there onto Neptune. Baby J going to clean that one up, but almost doubling the kills right now is Straight Rippin, and Overshield going into their hands as well. So Baby J in a very powerful position, but you can see that Overshield is being ripped off. Ace and Baby J both finding a kill, 36-18, now officially doubling that score. But Commonly, no reason to necessarily push with the team here, especially with that type of lead. Really all he's doing is locking down the spawns and looking for players, but he's not aware of the outside blue spawn, and that's going to come back to bite him if he doesn't realize that very soon.
Yeah, that's the two biggest threats you have when you're over at that blue platform are people come from blue too, you know, originally from blue Bend side, and then the other side is just that top catwalk side security. And you called it out earlier, Tom. You said he's not watching his back over at blue side, and that unawareness cost him his life and the sniper rifle.
I was about to count it down. I was going to say back in 3, 2, and then he immediately got assassinated. Great play there from Straight Sick, but is it enough? 15 kills to make up, and it's kind of tough because the way that Straight Rippin's been able to position themselves here, I think this is the first game that we haven't seen Straight Rippin kind of being bottom lurkers, I guess you could say, where they've been kind of floating around and giving the height advantage on over to Era. This time, they're playing a lot more patient, a lot more composed. Bait and switching is there again. The team shot is there again. They're cleaning up the one shots and not letting them get away. And Era, they're starting to kind of look like how they did in game number 1, but I'm happy to see this because I was waiting for a competitive back and forth series, and we haven't really gotten it in the Ultimate Grand Finals yet. It's been kind of lackluster performances coming out from Straight, but now they're really getting it going here. Baby J, wow, are you kidding me? The Hydra doing some serious work, all 4 dead. Straight Rippin, getting it going, starting to heat up here in game number 2.
Yeah, and this is one of the first times we've actually seen, outside of game number 1, the grand finals, where we saw Straight Rippin just absolutely dominate on Fathom CTF. This is the first time we've seen Straight Rippin in a position where they are expected to win, like absolutely, you know, no doubt in our mind that they're going to win this game. outside of that, I feel like every other game we've watched so far this series, the other 5 games we've seen, it has not been that story.
No doubt about it. Very decisive win here in game number 2, 50-26 here for Straight Rippin, but it's just the beginning of the series. 1-1 here in this best of 7. Now we're looking at a best of 5 here to determine Legendary Cup number 3 winners. Baby J, very strong performance. 18, 5, and 6 coming in from him. Musa, the star of last game, falling a little bit short here. 4, 5, and 12. But in a game like that, you can't really look at the stats individually. 7 minutes long, doubling the score. Steak dinner on over to Straight Rippin. Now we move into game number 3. And Dave, game number 2 has been Era's all the time here, every single series. For Straight Rippin now to lose game number 1 and then go and win game number 2 in Eden Slayer, kind of shifting the thought process on what we were thinking the team's strong game types were.
Yeah, I think our hypothesis or theory has been kind of shattered a little bit right now.
Disappointing because, you know, we know hypothesis, theory, fact.
Absolutely.
0 to 100 real quick.
So we'll have to see. That was probably just an anomaly. I mean, that was just such a small data set right there. Just one game. It's not even significant.
That's a glitch.
Unlike our other
ones. No, but overall, the way that Straight Rippin was able to stay alive there was fairly impressive because Eden Slayer, it's not a easy game type to do that and to maintain control throughout. It's typically one of those game types that you see a kind of give and take where it's like, all right, well, you had a nice setup. Well, let's see how my setup goes. That entire time, we didn't see Sniper Rifle really in anybody's hands on side of Era. They weren't comfortable at all. Setups were being held from red and from blue. So Straight Rippin, that's a great sign for them. It's also a great sign to just stop the run that's happened so far. These guys have won, again, 5 in a row. So now Straight going to have to see what they can string together. But I want to see these guys just duke it out and go back and forth and see what they're really made of, honestly. Because what we were expecting to see when we got into the series after game number 1 completely just tilted it all the way around.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if this shifts momentum back in Straight's favor, if they're going to be able to close out the series right away, or how this one's going to go back and forth. One thing that was most surprising to me, though, is that was the first time we've seen Straight Rippin get control and hold on to it that entire time. I mean, I believe they got every single overshield towards the end. I can't recall a single other time where I saw overshield go in the hands of Era. That was just Straight Rippin dominance. So we're going to kick this one off with Ace, one of the players who you said you felt had to step it up from the Straight Rippin roster.
Yeah, and we're looking at the Straight 6 names that you were talking about previously, and Ace seems to know where Straight 6 is going to go. He's already prepared for this one, the 2-shot beatdown flying in. So that's what happens when these guys scrimmage against each other, and when you can sit there and do a little bit of a theater breakdown or possibly watch some previous games that were being played in that Legendary Cup. Now Ace maneuvering around the map, going to get the kill onto Musa. Musa not able to throw that one off, and keep in mind what we saw in CTF Truth. We did see Era coming out with a 30-second cap to start. Not the case this time around. No caps within this first 30 seconds, but control right now in favor of Straight Rippin, unless Kratos can do something with these rockets. And I like the positioning coming in for both of these guys. They're kind of just waiting for information. Kratos giving up his position now as Ace going to hit him with the nice body shot, commonly flying in there. So it makes me kind of wonder, Dave, what would you rather have, rockets or sniper rifle in that situation with that position? Ace kind of making them pay.
Yeah, Ace just played that out so well. Every single time Kratos moved on up, he either was able to hit a body shot or Ace would reposition, make sure he was in a safe position. So that was just that was great decision making by Ace, just position himself so well during that entire engagement. So I would argue that the sniper or the power weapon in the correct hands is the correct answer there.
One thing that's been going on throughout this entire time, though, is Musa clutching it on the side of the Straight Rippin base. He gets 2 kills somehow and hops on the return as the last guy alive, and now is running the flag. Are you kidding me? Ace does hit the body shot there, but look how far that flag is already. Somehow, some way, throughout all of this, Ace not even dying, but yet Musa has the flag past the 50-yard line. It does get returned, but wow. The guy went huge in Empire, and then he just went huge again here to start CTF Coliseum.
And one thing that's really surprising to me as well is generally when I see someone get a wingman medal, it just means that your teammates are all staying alive, you're absolutely dominating, everything's going well. But as you talked about right there, without Ace hitting that body shot or getting that stop in that flag cap, right there we could have seen a cap in the favor of Era as Ace has a wingman / killing spree.
Kratos, last guy alive. He is currently located on the Straight Rippin side of things. He's going to hop on the return. A little bit of a bait coming in from Kratos. I like this play, but he's not in position, unfortunately, to get another touch. First flag capture going to go on over to Straight Rippin, and this could be 2-0 in favor of Straight right now. So again, you got to give props to Musa. That was such a great play. He almost had it happen for Kratos, but not able to. Now the pressure's starting to accumulate over towards the Straight Rippin side of the base. Era flying in. Straight finds a kill. Denoxide and Ace both down. Big kill there coming in from Commonly, but doesn't look like anyone else from Straight Rippin has defense in there. Ooh, Ace gets a kill. Nice little spawn right there too, and Musa, he forgets the flag, but again, Musa on the objective, Straight Rippin on the ropes right here. Can Musa get this flag and toss it to his teammate?
I like that play. He took his time, decided he wanted to go towards top sniper edge, realized that at that point he'd already taken so long that rather than risk it and go towards bomb snipe side, bomb maze, where someone could have possibly slipped by and got those shots on him, he decided to just take the longer route because players are probably not going to expect that. Commonly answering though, getting that kill on Musa, trying to bring it off through front bridge, but eventually taken down. So right here, we're going to see what Denoxide can do. He has all the weapons in the world. This is a very important moment. Do you get kind of in a risky position and try to help your teammate who has run that flag, or do you play selfish how you should be when you have those two weapons?
Musa is doing everything right now. Gets the grenade kill on the Rocket Sniper player. Had that amazing flag run, had the amazing flag return as well. Now he's got a big flank coming on over towards the Straight Rippin elbow. Can they take him out? Ace over there fighting desperately. Straight Sick, he's going to drop Commonly. Musa with the Spartan charge through the wall somehow. Going to be able to connect onto that one. Neptune gets taken out by Baby J, but look at this guy. He will not stop running the flags. Perfect execution on this one. The Spartan charge down towards the scatter shot. Commonly, he's going to drop as well. Musa, the guy is running the flag again. What a series from Musa. Can't say enough by the way that he's played this one.
Yeah, I was just thinking earlier when we saw Straight Rippin finally get that first cap, I was like, all right, Straight Rippin, they're in good shape. They've turned this series around. This one's over now. Straight Rippin's going to kick it back up and take the rest of the series. But after watching Musa doing all this work, and most impressively, with 0 power weapons, it's not like he's going on these amazing sprees and getting these awesome stops with the rockets or a sniper. He's just single-handedly doing pistols and grenades. No
doubt about it, Straight Rippin. I believe they have the Slays department in their favor, but obviously not able to put in enough flags quite yet. You have a flag being pulled, but so much defense, so many players for Era just flying in there. Ace does get a double kill. He's in position to run and touch this one. Very surprising as the last guy alive that he's able to do so. You do have some spawners coming up onto the elbow, Straight Rippin. They got to be careful.
This is desperate.
It looks good for Straight Rippin right now, but if they put this in, they are very close to possibly being countered on, which is currently happening right now as the collapse starts to happen on the Era side of things. Ace does find a big kill right there. Baby J not able to answer and respond as Neptune, he finds that kill with the DMR. Denoxide with the kill. Straight Sick, he's going to respond as well. Now Kratos, he flies over towards the middle of the map. Is that enough for them to be able to get this flag out? Not quite yet. Denoxide slowing things down with the grenade. The flag has been touched though.
Yeah, I feel like Straight's in a safer position now. They still have 3 people alive. They kind of have control of their half of the map, but it got scary right there. Like, it felt like Ace and the Straight Rippin squad were just kind of desperate in that one. It luckily worked out in their favor as they got that cap and still kept control of their side, but as you talked about before, those are some of the times that we've seen so many times over the years, just teams desperate to flag in and getting counter-capped.
Commonly, he's over here fighting with Ace. Denoxide, he's going to be taken out. Baby J over here taking out Straight Sick as well. Can Ace continue to stay alive? Gets taken out, but you can see the aggression flying in as Commonly, he's going to go and touch this flag. Doesn't realize, again, Musa with the nice defense, going big. Nice little strategy there as the last guy alive. Again, Dave, we've highlighted it numerous times today where you got to go as that last guy alive and stop that flag guy from getting the touch. Again, another flag touch coming in from Straight Rippin, but they cannot get Musa out, and they cannot take him down as he grabs the sniper rifle as well. Ground pounds his way on over towards the sneaky ledge, and this guy has just been dominant all Coliseum.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was crushing before without any power weapons. I'm curious as what's going to happen right now that he has a sniper in his hands. Looking like he almost has this cutoff over towards Rocket side, but ends up getting shot in the back by Ace, so possibly got a little too tunnel vision there on the flag guy, and that's kind of the goal of running that flag near Rocket side.
Ace was still challenging. He took out numerous players over there. However, Kratos finds a kill. Denoxide, he's trying to stay alive with this sniper rifle, and Kratos is going huge right now. This looks like a potential flag return coming in. Ooh, Denoxide, he does hit the snipe. He needs to land this other one, he does. Are you kidding me? Third guy not able to do so, but That was a great job from Denoxide, which looked like it could have for sure been that flagpole over towards the elbow. Slows things down just a little bit. Straight Rippin did have commonly advanced over towards the map, and they do have these guys on the ropes and staggered spawns. Shield's fairly weak too, but it's going to be difficult to get that return with all 4 members popping up in the base.
Yeah, it looks like Straight just kind of one by one tried to force that flag recovery. Originally started with Commonly, who was the furthest pushed up, and then it looked like Baby J and then Ace both tried to push on in towards that Era base and get that recovery, kind of solo-ish. But this stalemate is going to determine the game and potentially the series. I mean, these are kind of those turning point moments where it's like, man, I can't believe we lost that 3-2 flag game.
No doubt about it. I mean, this is one of those very close games that Dave would rather lose 3-0 than 3-2. And you're right. I mean, it's a very deflating loss for either one of these teams. But is it for sure the game-deciding game? Possibly. We'll see. It depends on the way that it happens, too. If it's a big, brain fart or individual mistake, that could come back to bite someone and they could get a little bit flustered. You've got to have that mental stamina here in these long series.
I like this play by Commonly. Right there, he drops the flag for his teammates, flanks all the way through in an unexpected spot. Most players are expecting down low, some sort of flank like that, but Commonly with zero hesitation. Look at this, jumps right on the recovery.
Wow.
These players are going to panic.
Commonly with the sneaky plays. That was right, Dave. I mean, the way that he was able to manipulate that situation right there in his favor was just brilliant, honestly. The team was not expecting him. Era was not expecting him to take that route, come around the way that he did. Some extra help coming in there towards the tail end of things. The Slays went in favor of Straight Rippin. They won 3-2, but it's kind of refreshing to see them finally be able to pull it out in the objective game where they were hanging so close in the Slays for quite some time. But holy cow, man, Musa is really, really stepping it up. You got to shut him down right now. If
Yeah,
you're Straight.
Despite only being +3, that does not reflect us how well he was playing. Just the stuff that we were seeing in the scoreboard, even when we weren't on his POV, just seeing a couple Musa kills on that screen, just over and over, just killing, pulling that flag out, going back in, or those times even at the end where he was almost the reason that they got a reset or a return. He did such a smart job of getting a double kill, staying alive in that sniper cave, buying time for his teammates. I feel like that falls more on him not getting reinforcements fast enough. I mean, you can't expect him just to try to charge out or sprint out at Ace and try to get that kill/recovery. That's just not a high percentage play. It's really not.
And this is really it here for Straight Rippin. As you take a look at the game types, it's Plaza Strongholds popping up next. And you could go up 3-1 here. And as we touched base on before, Era, they seem to be struggling in the objective games a little bit, especially in the Strongholds games. In Strongholds Plaza, we were looking at something that they could have potentially been exposed on. We haven't seen them play that yet, but they've kind of wiped away a lot of that criticism with doing that bracket reset. I don't know what's going to happen here, but one thing's for sure. If Straight Rippin goes up 3-1, that's going to set them up for some serious success, especially considering that Fathom CTF is popping up in game number 6, and we did see how dominant they were in that in the first game of the previous series.
Yeah, they played that so well, and kind of how you called before earlier too. These teams are kind of going in waves. It's like we saw Straight Rippin win 1 game, then we saw Era win 5 games in a row. Now we see Straight Rippin string together 2 games. We're going to have to see if Era can put a stop to that, or if Straight Rippin is just going to continue this through.
All right, here we go, guys. The players are loaded into the lobby. The game is on the verge of loading up. It is going to be Strongholds on Plaza. Camouflage sitting top center. The ideal Strongholds to hold here, bottom, middle, and Nest. If you're just joining us, thanks for watching. Legendary Cup number 3 here into the Ultimate Grand Finals era. They came out with a hot bracket reset against Straight Rippin. They won that series 4-1. Now, Straight Rippin up in this best of 7 here, 2-1. Whoever wins this best of 7 series is going to be Legendary Cup champion for your 3rd week. Starting this one off with Kratos.
Yeah, see if he's going to go contest this camo or what he's going to do right off the bat. Looks like he predicts that grenade. Musa and Kratos predicting someone to go straight for that camo and gain the better Straight right off the bat. I mean, that doesn't seem to be too much of a surprise, though. Seems like they've been getting the better of Straight on some of these starting breaks.
Interesting beginning strategy from Straight, not to really contest on over towards bottom, middle, or Nest. Instead, they want to go for that yard, and they haven't even captured it yet. So delayed. Eventually, Denoxide did get that shotgun, so Denoxide going to have to be the player to watch for Straight Rippin if they can come back and try to retake any type of setup here. Ace, he starts off with a kill onto Neptune. That should be able to give him the numbers advantage, but as soon as that happens, Kratos with the very nice shots right there onto Commonly and getting that Guardian Angel medal, so you can see he was keeping somebody alive throughout all of this. Great shots there onto Ace. Ace does get the stick throughout all of that, but still milking the score, milking the points, and controlling the map is Era, and that's all you can ask for right now.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, especially keeping the dominating parts of the map. In previous series when we saw them against Betterville, just kind of giving up to better strongholds and pushing on over towards BR base on Rig. We don't see them making those same sort of mistakes here on Plaza. They're not trying to force over and take yard. They're staying in the smart position. But Straight finally getting a good strong push. They take over Nest, and they're going to put some points on the board.
And this is where you start to see what Era starts to kind of hold water in here in terms of what strongholds they want to control. Do they want to go for bottom middle? Do they want to go for yard? They end up going on over towards yard there. Was that the right decision? I don't think so. I feel like they could have contested down towards bottom middle, and then they made their way down over towards the yard. But either way, great job from Straight Rippin taking back map control. 19 seconds, or 19 points, excuse me, is what it took for these guys to get it going. So keep in mind how long Straight Rippin setup could potentially last.
Yep, 19 points up, like you said, and Straight Rippin not looking like they're going to give up Nest or basement anytime soon. They're doing a really good job right here, just holding back, letting Air try to make some sort of push out, especially Baby J with his shotgun. This is a little tough situation, though, because if they can kill him, there is their opportunity. They have 2 members of Straight Rippin down right now. Make that 3 for just a split second, and they got camo in the hands of Kratos. I would like to see them prioritize Nest or bottom mid. Not both at the same time, though. That's going to be really tough to take with Straight Rippin.
3 members located down towards the lift, and they're all weak. Not a good spot to be in if you're Straight Rippin. They fly out, somehow able to get 2 kills, and they got this 3rd guy weak as well. Neptune now, he's going to drop down. Commonly going to clean that one up, but it's a 2-on-1 here down towards bottom middle. Straight Sick going to have to go huge. He's got help coming over towards the top. Can they get the reset? Denoxide dropping in. You have another player over towards the Prius area. They do get the reset coming in down towards bottom middle. Great job from Era. Very, very close fight.
But this bottom middle brawl is not done yet, as we saw Ace down there. Baby J also paying some attention in that direction as well. So it's going to be really tough. But it looks like they wisely back down. Like, you notice how Baby J did not decide to give up his life and jump right in bomb center right away. Instead, he's waiting to see if he could pick off any members of Era before jumping in there.
Whoever's over towards the dip is still alive throughout all of this. That's going to be, I believe, Kratos. Now, Musa going to fly in down towards bottom middle. Kratos still no shield. Straight Sick full shield, so got to watch out for Straight Sick if you're straight. And there it is right there. He's over towards the light rifle area, laying down some cover fire. You have Kratos now no shields after getting hit with a grenade. It looks like Straight Rippin realizes where these guys are. Great grenade coming in from the Denoxide. He just got done getting a kill on Straight Sick. Looking for the double kill. Ace going to find that one instead. Straight Rippin currently holding the setup. Neptune flying down bottom center. You got to be careful right now if you're Era. You cannot give up staggered deaths like that. Didn't seem like they formulated a plan to go and retake everything. Kind of just responding to what Straight Rippin was adding to them. And I guess you got to give credit to Straight for the aggression, because that was very, very well executed.
I was just going to say, the result of some of those staggered deaths and some of those free kills ends up being a trip cap against you. So right now, even though it looks like Era's trying to take Nest, Straight Rippin can rotate back, shut that down, and they're going to reap the rewards of this trip cap. Now this puts Era in a really tough situation. Do they go all the way back towards yard and stop the bleeding, or do they decide to get aggressive and push towards the center of the map and try to get 2 strongholds instead?
One thing's for sure is Camo's coming up, and Straight Rippin's in position to grab this one. Do they have the time is the question. Great use of the map right there from Denoxide. He's just sitting in the pit, which isn't that bad of a spot to be in, but you got to watch out for players that are top gold, because that's where you can really get lit up. So he turns around, watches that angle, also helps down take that player over towards the blue area. There's a player over towards the post that gets dropped. Straight Sick right now, I believe, had the noob combo, and he did. He gets dropped over as well from Commonly. Commonly somehow finding kills. Gets a double kill onto Kratos. Do they want to push over here on the Straight Rippin side towards yard? It looks like they are going to add some aggression over here, as they have a player no shields. Denoxide going to find that kill. Hops in over towards the yard. Has a player on his radar as well. That's going to be 2 players over towards blue and flowers. Another one going to be over towards that snipe side. 1 player for Straight Rippin over towards S4. Now that they capture this yard, what's the play? Are they going to camp this one, or are they going to get out? Looks like
they got to get out.
Yeah, Straight Sick sitting over there, and I agree, Dave. They got to get out over there, because they need to make their way out over towards the Nest side, because that's where the contention is coming in. Bottom middle now is the big play, because Nest was retaken over there by Era, but Straight Rippin has been looking extremely solid here in Plaza Strongholds.
Yeah, they did such a good rotation in that trip cap, but I got to agree with you, Tom. I feel like they had to get out of there earlier. It just feels like, you know, getting yard is okay. You definitely want to get that for the trip cap, get those extra points, but you don't want to do it at the cost of losing the center of the map. And because of that, it feels like they stayed a little too long. They overstayed their welcome over in yard, and now looks like it's a trip cap for Era.
Wow, so many members filtering from Straight Rippin. Era not able to connect on any kills quite yet, but tons of members weak right there. Great flank to top gold for Neptune. Straight Sick gonna find the kill onto Baby J. The bleeding does stop over towards the yard, but Straight Rippin, they're gonna have to be careful here because they are on the ropes over towards the yard side. Meanwhile, Era, they have to watch the spawns over towards the back wall because now Straight Rippin is gonna come up off spawn over towards the blue side. Great noob combo there coming in from the knock side. Camo popping up here anytime soon, but this map is gone completely crazy right now as Era retains control over towards this tail end, and they need to control it for quite some time. Straight Rippin, if they get 1 or 2 more setups, this game's going to be over.
Yeah, this could be scary because, I mean, even though it's a 20-point game right now, you're never too comfortable in strongholds. You just realize how one trip cap can change that. Or as soon as you have one failed push, it's sort of like, all right, well, what should we have done different during that push? You start to lose some sort of confidence in some of those full-team pushes, and in some cases, you just naturally start to stagger and start to push and try to force something on your own because you hate sitting around or waiting for something to happen. So right here, we're going to see what happens with Straight. Looks like they were able to get control of Bomb Center for a brief moment, but it looks like Era are fighting for this one over near Prius.
It's
all
a big
four
fight.
down.
It's a big fight for bottom center, and Straight Rippin ends up winning it. But Straight Rippin, they got to be careful because Xenoxide, he's out of position immediately, and if they give numbers on over to Era to start, that is not a good sign. Kratos coming out of the gates with a kill. They have protection going on over towards the nest side. However, Straight Rippin is able to take it, which is huge. Bottom middle is currently being contested. Do they capture the nest side? They don't, but they do. Oh, they don't capture bottom middle. Straight Rippin with the reset, the triple caps in effect. They are going to take game number 4. What a game from both teams. Straight Rippin pulling it out towards the end. Holy cow, Dave.
Just so many crucial little fights towards the end there. Just staying alive and buying that little extra time is all the difference in the world. Denoxide for quite some time. I felt like we saw him jumping around from dip to bomb center towards top center. Dude, you're not supposed to call that out.
That's the first thing I see. What are you talking about? How many other overkills did we miss? Let's scroll through. All right, commonly.
See, and there was no other like double kills even. I'm noticing throughout this. We have one overkill from commonly.
I'll send you. I'll send you Dave's number right now. Commonly, it is. No, I'm just kidding. You can text him for that one. But 15 assists coming out from the knock side, 13 assists coming in from Baby J, and just a great overall Strongholds game to watch because it looked like Era had things going towards the end. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to retake that bottom center area. The triple cap was just too much for Straight Rippin. For so long, they were adding pressure on over towards that yard area. And then I'm not sure who ended up clutching it over towards bottom middle, but you saw tons of melees going on over. And that's one of the things that really has been implemented in this season and in this year compared to previous years of Halo 5 because of players realizing how much you can do when you're about to die. Getting that death melee off is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, and you can get your melee off even when you're not necessarily expecting it and when you wouldn't expect it to register, and whoever it was down over towards the Prius towards the very end gets that melee on that player to make him no shields instead of just going down, doesn't throw a death grenade or anything like that, and then they end up retaking bottom centers. So just all those really small plays start adding up for you, and that's why it's important to always, again, lay down the maximum damage that you can and then try to take as much damage as you can as well, but keep your life when it's all said and done so your shields recharge.
Yep, those melees cannot be overstated how important they are during some of those close range engagements because if you think about it, how long it takes you to lay down 4 shots on a player across the map, whereas a death melee can literally take a split second as you're going down.
Exactly. So guys, it looks like Rig Slayer is going to be our game that's coming up here. We did see Plaza Strongholds previously, 3-1 in favor of Straight Rippin, but this series is not over yet. Still one more game to be won for Straight, 3 more games to be won for Era. Rig Slayer is the game type here. Straight Rippin playing from the red side should have the advantage on getting that camouflage. Meanwhile, on the blue side, you see those guys make their way on over towards the sniper side of the map. You got to try to close them out here if you're Straight Rippin. You don't want to push this into a Fathom CTF if it goes to a game number 6. Silver lining here is game number 6. You did win previously Fathom CTF game number 1 in this before it went to the bracket reset. So if I'm Straight right now, I'm trying to get commonly still more involved, who in my opinion has been the MVP in this series overall. But then again, it's been a pretty solid overall team effort. You can't really take anything away from either one of these teams. Everybody has really stepped it up. Musa definitely
Musa for sure.
highlighted on the side just because it's so difficult, Dave, to be the guy on your team that does it without the weapons. And when you do it, you got to give those guys credit, because the guys with the weapons, we're always highlighting the flashy plays. We're always talking about the kills and the deaths to fill time until the next game. So, Musa, props to you for a well-played game today, no matter what.
And what a good break here from Neptune, just instantly sprinting on over, grabbing the sniper. However, I would have loved to see him just rotate away from here as fast as possible. One of the things is this is such a vulnerable position.
To be naded, too.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that you got there so quick, you didn't meet any resistance. You could have just instantly sprinted out, possibly, but either way, it works out for Neptune as he rotates on over towards the inside of the map, but now he's in a sticky situation as he gets hit by that grenade. Sometimes those grenades can isolate you in spots where you do not want to be. I thought I was going to press him forward towards going outside, but looks like he's meeting a little pressure and gets help from his teammate Musa, who we've been highlighting a little bit earlier today.
Kratos going for a swim. That's going to be 2 dead. Neptune is going to have to start connecting. And I don't know if he was in a sticky spot. He looked like he was in a frag spot to me, Dave.
Bum, bum, bum. One thing I was going to say about this game type before we started, too, was I feel like this has to favor STR8 in some way, shape, or form, unless Era is able to make it fast-paced again. I feel like most of the games that we've seen STR8 lose is the ones where Era gets some sort of control, and they just roll that control over and over and over again, just keeping so much pressure on the STR8 squad. Whereas Rig Slayer, it can be one of those tougher ones. Like, sure, you can have a team that's very well organized, and you can pressure spawn kill after spawn kill from, like, bunker over to carbine, but I feel like you have to be so well organized to make that happen, and it's so much easier to slow down something like Rig Slayer. And when we look at some of these slower Slayers like this or Eden, we saw Eden go strongly in the favor of STR8.
All right, we're going to turn off the player outline so we can see exactly what Commonly is thinking just for a split second, as the camouflage is going to be popping up here any second. But one thing to point out, Dave, is that while throughout all of that was happening, Neptune, when he got the sniper rifle, wasn't able to connect on the shots that I feel like Neptune was connecting on previously. And if he was able to hit a body or a headshot there, maybe we would be seeing a different, well, we'd definitely be seeing a different score line, but potentially a different map setup right now in terms of who's in position.
The other thing I was going to say is we're going to be seeing things for a brief moment, how Commonly sees them, but you're not going to hear him how Commonly hears them, since he wears his headphones backwards for some reason.
That's true. So if everyone wants to see and hear what you're doing, make sure that left is right and right is left.
I've always wondered if he struggles in real life, like you hear like a car driving to your left and he just looks to his right or something like that. Because that's one weird thing is with sound, you can't just like somehow train yourself and be like, oh yeah, when I hear something to my left, I'm gonna look right now. So inverted hearing, I guess, is the word that our producers have coined this, and I'm gonna stick with that.
And I'm just throwing this out here. I'm a fan of turn the player outlines off, but a lot of times when I'm casting, I'm told that I have to keep the player outlines off or on. So guys, I'm not saying that, you know, if you want to see them off, just let me know. But if you want to tweet at me, it's @T-squared.
For me, it's always tough. Like I like the differences and seeing them on and off a little bit. Every once in a little while.
Like,
every once in a little while, for sure.
Just switch it up once in a while.
The Noxide's in a tough situation though, and does the noble thing and jumps off the map with that full sniper.
20-11 is the scoreline right here, and Era, I feel like they need to slow it down again and build their way around the camo, but here's the thing, Dave, is when they slow it down, they have to have a good plan here, and that's the key. And what do you want to do right now when you're down is you have to try to avoid where the power weapon guy is, and then try to filter around that and make that power weapon guy the last guy alive on the team, and then take him down and hope that he's not throwing the ammo off so you can retake control.
Interesting, yeah. I think some teams take different approaches. Some will either go with that approach that you talked about before, trying to kill the peripheral players, the ones that are around, they're supporting, that are sometimes in more vulnerable positions. And other times teams try to just base it around that sniper or that power weapon player. They say, we cannot make a move until this person is shut down. And they try to get some sort of miraculous pick further across the map or some sort of flank behind that player. But I think there's a mix between the two. In most cases, I feel like you need to pick off one other player outside of like that sniper or power weapon player, because that power weapon player should be in such a safe position that if you're able to get a kill on it, it's going to be a rare lucky kill, like some sort of long distance grenade, or that person's just poked out a little too far and you get a great double team.
Love the way that Moose is staying alive over here. Does find that kill onto the Oxide. A very late camo, Dave. 7:26 was when that one was picked up as Kratos finds a double kill. Baby J, the last guy alive, and Era starting to get some momentum here in this game, especially now with the scatter shot in Kratos' hands and Musa here with this camouflage.
Yeah, we're going to see if they can keep this pressure on. One thing that's been key to Era's success is just keeping a lot of pressure, a lot of aggression once they get some of those kills. So I'd like to see what they do right here. If they can pick off one more kill, I wouldn't be surprised to see Musa and crew charge on outside and kill all 4 members of Straight Rippin.
Oh, I like this play from Musa. He's got the flank if he wants it, but is not going to capitalize. Oh, Musa, careful. Nice little gust of wind, could have blew him off the map right there. Unfortunately, no breeze here on the rig today. Musa now, here comes the rotation. It's going to be a flank on over towards the carbine, but Dave, even though you're starting to see Era get it going, I'm not very stoked about that use of camo from Musa.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent start. It was a decent acquisition of the actual power-up, but like you said, it didn't really seem to amount to much of anything. It seemed like at some point he was able to give some sort of knowledge, like scouting knowledge, where he saw where some players were at.
But at least his team responded, and it was a good, while that was happening, it was like a good team effort, Dave, instead of just, you know, something we saw, I believe it was Naded earlier, where he had camouflage and all 3 of his teammates just died all over.
That's true, yeah. You need to stay alive and let someone make that play. But yeah, it's interesting because once you get to this higher level of play, these top teams, they'll use camo as kind of like someone getting a first shot or getting maybe a first pick or kind of being that cleanup part. But you never look at camo as just a single entity where it's like, all right, that person just needs to do everything. That person's going to go and get some sort of back smack.
Oh, commonly. Are you kidding me? The double kill onto Neptune. No shields. Out pistoling him. Baby J, he's going to force Musa to throw that sniper rifle off as he works with the knock side. Kratos going to answer with a kill onto commonly. 5-kill lead here for Straight Rippin with a very late camo that was on the board. We'll see if they're going to be able to grab that one. Timing a little bit off. Not able to land that melee either. So now you're going to see Musa. He's going to pick up the scatter shot. Who was able to pick up the camo throughout all of that? It was going to be commonly. He's getting hunted down, though, by Musa. A grenade out of nowhere.
Oh.
But Musa, he eats the grenade, and he lands the perfect shots. Very big kill. Very big kill coming in from Musa. Again, this guy's doing whatever he can to keep this series, to keep him in.
Yeah, that was a great play right there from Musa. Arguable, like, how risky that was. It was one of the situations where he just obviously just directly charged right after it, and those are such hit or miss. Like, had that camo player just not jumped up on that box, had the camo player turned around and got a shot on him, there's just so many things that could have gone wrong, but no need to highlight those when Musa does everything right and hits all the shots.
Ace flying in there, doesn't have enough support though in the Whitehall area, and then Kratos gonna find a kill onto Baby J. Scary moment here for Straight Rippin, and they don't have the numbers. Now you're starting to see a push coming in, but Kratos, was that a scatter shot that he wanted? He did, so the Noxide gonna have to take him down, but not able to connect on the shots. A little bit too passive in that angle right there, and now you're gonna see Kratos doubling back here with that scatter shot. Very big player right here on the map is Kratos, so we're gonna have to see what he's gonna be able to do. The Noxide, he's in a powerful position as well, so
such a good move right there.
Yeah, this is a big fight. He can come around this and flank if he wanted to. Does so. Now he has Kratos still in front of him, not able to land. He is. It's going to be straight sick instead. The double melee flying in. Now everybody located on the bottom of the map, and Straight Rippin going to take the height advantage.
Yeah, Baby J just doing the right play once again, just going over towards that top tower area. It's one of those situations like the Noxide did the exact same thing. He realized he had a member or two stuck underneath him at bottom tower. Rather than trying to just go around the corner and go for like a 50-50 situation where he possibly gets the advantage on the weak guy or possibly gets killed by both the players bait and switching him. He goes for the high ground.
Commonly, are you kidding me? Another double kill in a 2-on-1 situation. Sorry to interrupt, Dave.
No worries.
Guy is going off. Again, him and Musa having himself one hell of a series. AC finds a double kill. Can he find the triple kill turning around the corner with the battle rifle? No. Neptune, he responds 45-40 now as Neptune finds a triple kill for himself. Sloppy shots coming in from Commonly, but he hands him the melee right there. Still, again, a 5-kill lead, 4 kills for Straight Rippin before they become Legendary Cup #3 champions. Meanwhile, Era, they're not thinking about that. They are trying to put 9 more on the board and force a game #6 here onto Fathom. Every death mattering so much is now Denoxide going to slow play this one down towards the basement.
And this seems to be like one of the first sniper rifles kind of up on the map. Every other one has just been jumped off this entire game. So it looks like Baby J has it in his hands. I'm going to try to switch over to him and see where he's at. He's over on this catwalk, one of the safer positions that you can have it, towards this backside catwalk. I don't see Straight somehow losing this one. I could be wrong, but they're in such good positioning. They've been playing this one so smart any single time, not just chasing down exact kills. And Baby J, closing out with a headshot on straight sick.
Wow. What a series. What a game. What a legendary cup. STR8 Rippin. They take legendary cup number 3 era, placing second place respectively. Couldn't do it, but they did have that miraculous bracket reset. 4-1 was the series score overall when it was all said and done. No more games to be played here as we take a look at the stats. Almost a 20 bomb for commonly, 19 and 15.
That's